Hey golf fans, this is early 1981 and welcome back to the Golf Club 2019. Today we are going to be checking out Firethorn National by the Cleeve. As you can see, fairways are firm, greens speed is fast. We're leaving everything else at default. We've got one tee option which is 7,396 yards and we are going to be playing in pin set number 1. Now for those of you who do not know this is Augusta National. For some reason, HB Studios no longer allowed Augusta National, Magnolia National, so the Cleeve has had a very clever work around this, and this is called Firethorn National. So, hole number 1 is going to be a par 4, playing 443 yards, and this is called T Olive. Really good opening strike, this one. This will kick all the way over to the left-hand side, due to the slope in the fairway. So guys, I have had a few of you asking me on the channel, how do I go around playing Augusta National, Magnolia Golf Club. This is it, the home of the US Masters. Thanks very much to Kafalos and North 47 for confirming the name of this course. So I'm going to look to float a 7-iron into this uphill green. The green also slopes up. So just looking to land this on the upslope of the green and hopefully let it kick forward. This is right on track, by the way. This could go in. This could well go in. It does go in. What an opening approach shot that is. And we do start with an opening eagle on T Olive. What a fantastic start to the round. So, hole number 2 is the first of the par 5s. It's playing 571 yards, and this is called Pink Dogwood. Just applying a touch of draw here because the slope really kicks hard right. If we find this slope here, you should carry, we should end up about 360 odd yards. Now watch this starting to make its way down to the right hand side of the fairway, just like that. And we've actually boomed that 381 yards. That is crazy. Still going to leave us a tricky downhill approach shot into the second green. Just kind of in between clubs here, but I think 8-iron is going to be the better option. Just going to have to apply touch of de-loft to this one. We are on a severe downhill slope. Just looking to carry the bunker and bounce us on at the front of the green, or the light rough, but we're swinging very, very well today. I have been spending time on my swing. That's going to be long. It's going to leave us a long uphill putt. But I do apologise for not uploading in almost a week, guys. Probably just past a week. I've just really not been well. I come down with this cold. Fortunately, it's not the coronavirus, but I have developed ammonia, and I am on heavy antibiotics at the moment. So sorry if I sound chesty or wheezy or just not right, but I wanted to get this video out there to you guys. So this should start to swing left here. Good weight in that one. Good read. And it is going to leave us with a tap-in birdie putt. And we are going to go to 3 under par. But I have been on a driving range, guys, for probably about 6 hours. Maybe just playing a few courses as well, unrecorded, just to work on my swing. Hole number 3 is a par 4, short par 4, 355 yards, and this one's called Flowering Peach. Once again, the fairway is going to kick this ball all the way over to the left, so just looking to hold the right hand side of this fairway and let the contours and the slope bring us all the way over to the left hand side, and would imagine it would be a pitch shot. Fantastic swing once again. We really are swinging well. That is going to work its way all the way over to the left-hand side. I tell you what, that could well be a flop shot. Put some serious distance in that one. Just kind of, once again, we're in between. I think I'll just de-loft this pitching wedge and opt for the flop shot. Just looking to land front of the green. Good execution. Oh, it's going to come up short. Just didn't have the power to get up there, and that is going to leave us with a tricky chip shot from 9 yards out. It is uphill though, just lofting this up almost fully, and we're just going to attack the flagstick here, hopefully. It does check up nicely. We are going to pick up the first par of the round. And we will be moving on to Flowering Crabapple, which is the next hole. It is a par 3, the first of the par 3s. To me, this is one of the most challenging holes on the course. It is very susceptible to the wind, and it can really force you to change clubs in this hole. I've seen Tiger hit anything from a 5-iron to a 3-wood to attempt to reach the green, but 2-iron for us. Not happy with how that club's coming back. I've pushed it. It's the first dirty swing of the round, and with that we're going long and right. Should just hold the fringe of the green, I would imagine. No, we actually trickle into the light rough. Horrible swing line. And with that we went 7 yards right of the flagstick. This is now a delicate little chip shot, fully lofting up this lob wedge, just letting that downhill slope take us down towards the pin. Come on, keep going, keep trickling down. Not a bad attempt. Didn't want to go too far past the flagstick. But we've come up a little bit short, but we do have a straightforward putt. 4-footer. Going to turn slightly to the right. Green speeds are 182. I am enjoying the green speeds. And with that, we are going to remain 3 under after an eagle birdie start. Hole number 5 is Magnolia. This is one of the longer par 4s. It's a 495 yard 426 yard hole, sorry. It's a slight dogleg left. This fairway should slope from right to left. These bunkers on the left are in place, so just looking to avoid them. We've got a 6 mile per hour wind that should help us out. It's a fantastic strike. Once again, just pushed it slightly right. But there's the slope on the fairway like we suggested. Now this is a very tough green. As you can see, it slopes back off the green if we're short. If we're too long here, bunker is in play. These greens are firm, so I'm just de-lofting this gap wedge a touch. Don't want to go too far past the pin. Want to land this short of the pin. It's a decent strike. Pulled it slightly left, but the wind should bring us back round. It is. Is it going to sit and hold the green? There we go. That's how brutal. Oh, that is brutal. We are in the bunker that this course can be to you. You think you've played a good shot, but the contours of the green, the way it's been designed, have took us right into this bunker. And this is going to be a delicate little chip shot from 5 yards. Got a 72 to 80% lie. Get in. Oh, good effort. Very unlucky that it didn't drop. And we are going to pick up another par. And we are going to remain at 3 under par. Let's jump on to hole number 6, which is a very dramatic par 3, and this is called Juniper. We are on an elevated tee here. This green is guarded by that front left bunker. Into a 6 mile per hour wind. 6 iron's got to be good. Oh, it's a good strike. Once again, though, slightly pushed it right, but the green does turn to the left. Have we got enough club to get up that slope? Should start to turn round. Just coming up about 12 to 15 feet short. 14 feet to be exact. And this one's going to break quite aggressively to the left. No, we've not allowed enough for the break there. Weight was really, really good, just burning that left edge. And we should have a little tap in from about 2 to 3 feet out. And we do walk away with another par. So all quiet in the birdie front after a fantastic start with the eagle and birdie. Hole number 7 is a par 4 playing 453 yards, and this is called Pampas. This hole has been extended by about 100 yards in the last few years. It's a straightish par 4. It's a very narrow fairway. The fairway is lined by meadlesome trees. And this will be a very tough approach shot. The green should be surrounded by 5 bunkers. I think it's the most bunkers you'll see surrounding any green here at Augusta. But we're really in between clubs, just de-lofting this gap wedge, looking to land this front of the green. The way that false front and sloping green is, want to make sure we've got enough club here. Wind should bring us round. Oh, I've pushed that. I have pushed that, and I tell you what, yardage was bang on. Hopefully we don't find that slope. We have, and as you can see, that's working our ball away from the flagstick, and that's going to leave us an uphill putt. 22 feet out. This one's going to break left and then start to turn back towards the pin. The last few feet, we've gave that a really good. Wow, that just slowed to death there after he got up the slope. That was quite bizarre, actually. I thought we played that with enough pace. Good read. And we do drop the par putt as we do move on to hole number 8, which should be a par 5. Playing 549 yards. This is an uphill par 5. It's a good birdie opportunity here if you can avoid these bunkers on the right. Not happy with my swing the last 3 or 4 shots. Once again, a slight push right, but we should just have enough to avoid that bunker. Should kick to the left and uphill. I'm not sure if we'll actually be able to reach this in 2 today with the current wind conditions. The wind is in our face. 54 feet uphill, 262 yards. Just going to deal off this 2 wood. I think we just come up short. Should have nothing more than a flop shot. Ah, I've put a slow on that, guys. We're going to come up way short now. Probably going to be a pitch. Maybe a long flop shot. Really disappointed with the slow there. So, a fully lofted lob wedge pitch shot should travel about 49, stop it at the 50-yard mark. There we go. That should offer us a birdie opportunity. So 5-footer. This one is going to break to the left. Hopefully we can get another birdie here. Move to 4 under. We do exactly just that. And as we step onto the 9th, which is going to be the final hole of front 9. This one is called Carolina Cherry. It's a par 4 playing 458 yards. This is a dogleg left that takes its players down into a gully, then up to a tricky green. You want to keep your tee shot. The way I like to play this, guys, is as you can see, I played a touch of drop. Anywhere too far right, that fairway contours away from the green and gives you a longer shot into the gully green. So we've played that really, really well. I think we're going to have to come up to the pitching wedge. Just going to loft this up a touch. The wind and the slope at our feet's going to take us to the right, and the way the green slopes down there, so we're aiming to the left here. I'm trying to get this as close to the flagstick as possible. Anything too long, it's a far better swing line. You're going to have quite a tricky, nasty downhill putt. This should be really good. Should kick right here. Is it going to sit? Oh. Not the kindest of kicks on the green there. We are going to have a downhill putt. An 8-footer. Once again, going to turn left. Don't want to play this too firm. Hopefully we can pick up another birdie here, but this is certainly no gimme here. That should really start to turn. Come on. Oh, too much. We allowed too much for the break there. But tricky, tricky greens. If you're not at the top of your putting game here, birdies can be elusive. And we finished the front 9 at -4. So, hole number 10, long par 4, playing 500 yards, and this is called Camellia. So we're now in the back 9, but this long dogleg left par 4 can be significantly shortened here by catching the steep fairway slope towards the green after the apex of the corner, which we should have done. I may have took on too much of this though after that push right. Should just have enough fairway to work with here. But we've certainly made our approach shot a lot shorter now with catching that slope. So 125 yards out. 7 mile per hour wind. I think the sand wedge is going to be the right club. We're on a downhill slope. The ball's going to move to the right at our feet. We've de-lofted this sand wedge quite significantly here. Oh, it's a beautiful swing. Best strike yet. Green should start to turn. Oh, just a bit too much pace there. And like we say, the green did start to turn away from the hole. I really expected that slope and the wind to move us more to the right there. But we do have a 21 foot putt. This one's turning quite aggressively to the right. It is 2 inches uphill. I tell you what, I like the look of that. And we do drain a putt, the first putt from distance. And that is a great way to start the back nine. So let's move on to hole number 11. This is the start of the 3 holes, which are named Amen Corner. It is the longest par 4 on the course, playing 513 yards, and it is called White Dogwood. This is a dogleg right. This really tests players' nerves here, especially in their later rounds. The green is protected by a pond. I'm just trying to find the right hand side of the fairway, and it should kick back left. But I tell you what, look at that for a horrendous push right. We may be okay here. Fortunately, the way this hole is contoured, it brings us back onto the fairway. And we are going to have a challenging approach shot. 7 iron is going to be too much. We've got a 5 mile per hour wind behind us. Down 26 feet. I think it's got to be the 9 iron here. Green breaks to the left. Ball at our feet is going to move us to the left. Just looking to find the right hand side of this green. Like that wind and downhill slope to get us down there. I've pushed it right again, and I tell you what, it's going to come up a little bit short. Once again, it's going to give us a birdie opportunity. We are going on an uphill putt. Didn't expect to come up as short as that. But we've got an 18 foot putt. The cup is 1 foot above us at the moment. It is going to turn to the left. It's got a chance. It's got a chance. Oh, wow, it just turned. Extreme left there, that last foot or so. And it means we do miss out on a birdie there. But let's move on to arguably the most famous par 3 in the world. It's hole number 12. It's a par 3. And it is called Golden Belt. Scientists have studied how a 155-yard hole can destroy so many scorecards. And wind is a major factor here. But Rays Creek and 3 crucially well-positioned bunkers make it essential for players to land the ball on the surface, putting surface. I'm a bit in between clubs here, so just de-lofted this pitch and wedge. Oh, I've pushed it right. It's okay though. Tell you what, the green kind of slopes towards the pin here. Is it going to sit down? It does sit down. It's actually not a bad approach shot. It's going to give us a putt from about, I was going to say 9 feet. It's 11 feet. This one does turn to the right. I mean, this hole's difficulty was well illustrated by Greg Norman's 1996 collapse after his final round tee shot rolled back into the creek, and we do miss that birdie putt there. I think, if I recall as well, Jordan Spieth's meltdown 20 years later in the final round of 2016 Masters when he threw away his lead with a quadruple bogey here in this hole. So let's move on to the final hole of Amen Corner. This is called Azalea, and it is a par 5, playing 510 yards. And this is actually named after the 2017 Masters champ Sergio Garcia. Just try to keep this on the right hand side of the fairway as Rays Creek guards the left edge of the fairway here. It's a better swing line. We've just applied The perfect amount of draw there. And that is going to leave us a challenging approach shot into this Fernteve green. The wind's really died down. We've got a 3 mile per hour wind, 178 yards up 4 feet. But look at the contours and the slopes just short of the flagstick here. You certainly don't want to be to the right of that pin, guys. It's a nasty putt. So if anything, I'm probably overcompensating here. This may... Oh, I've pushed it right. How's that went so far left, though, after that push? It's quite a bizarre outcome. It is going to leave us a nasty chip shot that we don't want to play too firm. We play this too firm, we could catch that slope, and this ball could disappear into Rays Creek. Need to be very, very accurate with his chip shot here. So we're just lofting up this almost to full, this lob wedge. And we're just going to chip this up and hopefully land it 4 or 5 feet short and let it run out. Oh, and it stops perfectly for us, and we should be looking for a birdie here. This would put us to 7 under. So we are having a solid round here. We have missed a 6 under. Jeez, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. We are 6 under. I do apologise. Hole number 14 is called Chinese Fir. It's a par 4 playing 442 yards. I certainly want to be on the left-hand side of this fairway. This will kick all the way over to the right-hand side. The wind's picked up again to 6 mile per hour. It's an absolute laser beam. We've absolutely nailed that. There's that kick to the right. I tell you what, we could well be into the light rough here. That is absolutely brutal. We are in a light rough though, 93 to 98%. Got a 7 mile per hour wind going to take us to the right. Just look at this green, guys. Ball our feet's going to move slightly to the right. Just de-lofting this a touch. Should have just about enough club to find the top of that slope. Oh, that didn't come out clean at all. I tell you something, I think the lie was not as good as suggested, because that didn't come out as well as it should have with a lie it did suggest to us. So we're now 17 yards out. This is a very tough chip shot here. I'm just looking to use the lob wedge here and flop this up. There's too much break in that green to get anywhere near it accurately or confidently. Just looking for about an 85% swing here. We do get that. Is it going to check up? It does check up, and it should leave us a little 3-footer for the par. It's 4 feet. Going to break to the left, which we do convert. And we are going to move on to hole number 15, and I'm sure this is where the Cleve got his name for this fantastic course, and it is called Firethorn. It is a par 5 playing 530 yards, reachable in 2. This is a birdie and eagle opportunity. Players will need to avoid hitting their driver left and being blocked out by trees. But for me, this is a very tough approach shot. Oh, what kind of swing line is that early? I need a kick left here. It looks like the fairway is going to take us that way. It does, fortunately, but that is a horrible swing line. We started off the front 9 swinging beautifully. The back 9 errors have creeped into our game regarding our swing, but we're 212 yards out. I'm really in between clubs here. I'm going to have to loft this 5 hybrid up. Look at that. If you're short of the pin, guys, boom, that is in the creek. If you're long, it's going to carry all the way off the green, down the bank, and it's going to leave you a pitch shot. Just try to float in this 5 hybrid and leave us an eagle putt. Pushed it slightly right, but that wind should have enough to bring that back, which it's doing beautifully. Is this going to sit? It's going to hold the green, I'd imagine. It's quite a nasty putt, this, because you have seen the green in the flyover. Don't want to put this too far past the cup, because it could have the potential to run right into the pond. So weight's crucial here. Don't want to play this too firm. 31 foot out, 3 inches downhill. It's going to turn extreme right here. Tracking nice. Should keep going. Didn't allow enough for the break, but we didn't play that too firm for obvious reasons. And we are going to be left with a 4-foot putt. This would put us to 7 under, which I wrongfully said when we picked up the previous birdie. And we do move to 7 under with 3 holes to play. Hole number 16 is Redbud. This is the final par 3 of the round. And it should be playing 170 yards, which is exact. Beautiful looking hole. It is protected by these mind-reading greens. I'm just looking to use the contours of the green here. That 7 mile per hour wind should hold us up, so I'm just de-lofting the 7 iron a few touches. Looking to get this one close. Oh, it's a great strike. That wind's not holding me up. That 7 mile per hour wind has done nothing. And with that, we're long. It may trickle back a little bit. We are going to have a downhill putt for birdie. But that 7 mile per hour wind just did not touch us. It may change because it's now a 5-6-4. Geez, oh, the wind's really fluctuating out here at Firethorn National, aka Augusta National. Difficult downhill putt here. I'm amazed that ball didn't come back down. The laws of gravity should be taking that. That's a horrible putt line, but I tell you what, it's on track. What a birdie putt that is, despite a horrible putt line. And we do move to 8 under par with 2 holes remaining. Hole number 17 is a par 4, and this one's called Nandina. Due to irrevocable damage caused by a 2010 ice storm, the iconic Eisenhower tree that jutted out on the left-hand side of the fairway was removed, unfortunately. So it's a fairly straight uphill fairway, this one.
Great contact. Nice swing.
Beautiful strike. Absolute laser beam. And that is going to leave us a beautiful line of sight into the 17th uphill green, into a 4 mile per hour wind. I think 8 iron is enough club. We are on an uphill slope here. Just de-lofting this 8 iron. Looking to use the green to our advantage. Just have another quick look at this. So just aiming left of the flagstick. Good swing. Good strike. I like the look of this. This should sit down. Come on, sit. Oh, wow, that is criminal that has actually failed to hold the green. I thought my yardage was going to be bang on there. So we do have a 7-yard chip shot. We can attack this pin here. I tell you what, that's in. And that is a fantastic chip in for the birdie. And we do move to 9 under par with the final hole. This absolute fantastic version of Augusta National coming up. It is the hardest hole in the course, I would say. And it is called Holly. Wind can really dictate this hole. The terrace green is protected by them bunkers just to add to the difficulty here. But I always find this one of the most challenging holes on the course. Oh, I've pushed that slightly right, but look how far right that is going. We should be okay. This should kick out of the... Oh, it doesn't kick out the rough. I don't think we're fully out the rough there. We're in the light rough. Just to make things more challenging now. 38 feet uphill. But green, terrace green, is really protecting this pin. Just de-lofting this 5 iron. Adding a touch. A fade to this one. Don't want to catch that overhanging tree. I don't know if we've got enough club here, but I'm going to give it a go. Looking to sting this up the green. Oh, I've pushed that right. That is going to come up way short. That actually probably is going to come all the way off the green and leave us a pitch or a flop. Fortunately, we are really going to do well to walk away with par here. I'd be gutted to actually now bogey one of these holes. So the sand wedge, just looking to catch that uphill slope. Just de-lofting it a touch and let the ball release forward. It's a good execution. This should work out well. Can sit down anytime now. That is going to leave us about a 4-foot putt for the par save. 4 foot bang on. This one is going to turn to the right. We knocked that in for a 9 under, which should be a 63. But there you go, guys. That is how you can play Augusta National on this course. I really hope this video helped you out. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And until the next video, take care, peace out, and love you all. Bye.